Before you call them friend, gotta prove them first. Is there really loyalty when you're at your worst? We need to hit her all like the wire. You're looking for some truth, I'll supply it. If you want it too soft, this ain't them. You gon' choose a law over sin. They just some uncut gems. They just some uncut gems.
We was diamonds in the dirt, just grinding in the turf. Our mama go berserk, trying to keep from riding in the hearse. Now we lions in the work, sons of Zion, we the church. Different color fringes is looking vibrant on my shirt until I'm lying in the dirt. I pray to be a fire hydrant with this word, like a geyser on a curb.
Hey, what's up, man? Where you from? Come here. Let's have a conversation about God, man. You love God?
No.
Why not?
To be totally honest, I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, his father before him, etc. And I'm a studious individual, so I studied the Bible, studied the Quran, a couple of other holy books. And there was just a lot of big holes in the big picture that I was trying to understand.
Like what?
Well, to begin with, just I don't believe I have the capacity for faith. I almost take it as almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost offensive to require somebody to believe something with no evidence.
How did he not leave us some evidence? There's so much evidence of the God of this book existing. What are you talking about? What about prophecies? You say you studied the Bible. Have you studied the prophecies of the Bible?
Uh-huh.
Do you know about the prophecy of what Ezra said about in 400 years they'll see Jesus? You know, Ezra existed like circa 400 BC, right? And 400 years before Christ existed. Then here he comes, right on time for the prophecy.
Except that the prophecy also required him to be a Hebrew from the tribe of Judah, correct?
Yeah, he was.
How's that?
Because it says he was.
But Mary was not a Judean Hebrew. Joseph was.
Yeah, Joseph was his father.
But Joseph, according to the canon that I was into,
according to dogma,
Joseph wasn't supposed to actually be his biological father.
Give me
that's something I was like.
Give me Matthew chapter 1. Give me Romans chapter 1 verse 3.
And this is what I need. I want to know.
Yeah, cool. I like doing this too.
You guys have information I've yet to find.
Right, watch this.
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 3. Concerning his son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David.
The seed of David. You know what the word for seed is in the Greek right there? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the bloodline, literally the seed.
Yeah. It's sperma. The Greek word is sperma. It means sperm. So he descends from a man. So if he's supposed to descend from a man, that whole ideology of him just coming from Mary, that's dispelled right there.
Except that, I want to say it was in Matthew.
Yeah, I got Matthew right here.
Described God came upon Mary and she was with child.
Yeah.
When it referred to God, I expect that to mean the spiritual being. Right?
Not in that aspect. Let me show you something.
Okay, wait.
Let's start at verse 1. I'm going to show you something.
This is Matthew chapter 1 and 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
What do you think that means? The book of the generation, really specifically the word generation.
I would assume it would be like the lineage that he comes from.
It's the Greek Genesis, meaning your genealogy.
Right.
Who you descend from with your patrilineage, right? Keep going.
The son of David.
Yeah.
The son of Abraham.
So it says the son of David and the son of Abraham. How can we know that he's a descendant of Abraham, Abraham and David, if Mary's lineage isn't in here? That's kind of problematic. But let's go to verse 16.
Right. This is verse 16. And Jacob begat Joseph.
Yeah. Jacob begat Joseph. Right. That's a man having a son. Right. Go ahead.
The husband of Mary.
The husband of Mary. Who's the husband of Mary? Joseph. Go ahead.
Of whom was born Jesus.
Of whom was born Jesus. So it says, so of whom was born Jesus. That word right there, born in Greek, is begat.
Right.
So when you begat somebody, that means you're having a what? a child. So this right here, like all those points, like those 3 points that spell it being a virgin birth. If you sit down and read it, that's the first chapter of what they call the New Testament. That's page
So
1.
was that not also part of the prophecy?
What part?
The virgin birth?
No,
No?
because like here's the thing.
Because that one I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, because the virgin birth thing, that the whole dogma of he didn't come through sex, that came from people who don't understand prophecies. Because when you see the scriptures about a virgin in the Bible, right? Do you know what a virgin is?
Virgin
No, that's nowadays time. A virgin is somebody who's huh?
uncorrupted?
I wouldn't say it like that. A virgin just means, that's still nowadays time free. But a virgin means a woman of marriageable age. That's all it means. So it says a woman of marriageable age shall what? Conceive a child. How does a woman of marriageable age conceive a child? Nowadays.
By having sex.
You see what I mean?
You got me.
Like the thing is, our people, like they take instead of trying to read this logically, they just try to over deify this book, right? And when you do that, you're not going to understand it.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. My grandfather and my father, part of the way that they taught is from the pulpit, they would have everyone open the Bible to whatever chapter they were preaching from, and then they would have different people read different, chapters of the part they were reading to make sure everyone's following along in the Bible and not just hearing what they say.
Yeah.
And then also, I didn't realize this until I was at a certain age where I got in a little trouble. Found myself,
Hey, you're not the only one.
Yeah, for a certain time incarcerated, and I decided, and even at that time I'd already pulled back from faith, but because there's not really a whole lot of interest in ministry, being incarcerated, I decided to look into some of the books that I had never really heard from. Numbers, Leviticus. Super surprised. I did not see none of that coming because most preachers don't preach out of those books.
Yeah.
And I understand why.
And that goes to, I need to stop right here, right? That goes to what I was about to say, because when you said, like, your father had everybody read, like, open up to where he was reading it, the problem with that is, yeah, they can be reading it, but the source of where he got his information from is from people who don't understand the Bible. That's why things like the virgin birth and stuff like that.
So
yeah.
He himself, even though he never really gave up on faith, he had a lot of big questions that he dove deep and studied. And
Yeah.
a lot of them he still to this day is still finding answers for because it's not perfectly documented. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot that was missing, there was a lot left out, there was a lot in other places, and you really got to know what you're looking at to know what even to consider.
Yeah, because you have, it goes back to the same thing again. You have certain Christian scholars or certain Christian archaeologists who will try to find things that fit their prerogative of the way they read the scriptures, and then instead of letting the scriptures dictate themselves. Because another thing, real fast, right? Remember how you said there's a lot of things you read in Numbers and Deuteronomy, Exodus, the law, right? A main thing in the Christian church is lawlessness. Like, you don't have to keep the law no more. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Now, that's problematic, right? Because give me 1 John chapter 2, verse 6. Watch this.
Since middle school, freedom is a slippery slope.
Verse 3. Yeah, it is.
It's a slippery slope.
Watch this.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
So the book, if we instead of taking everybody's dogma and what people say, the book says, here's how we know that we know Christ. That somebody's a Christian, right? Follower of Christ. If we do what?
If we keep his commandments.
Those commandments are in Leviticus, Exodus, Deuteronomy, all those. That's how you know if somebody's a Christian. Why keep going?
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments.
Christians people who call themselves Christians say they know Christ and don't keep the commandments, or what?
Is a liar.
Yeah.
And the truth is not in him.
And if the truth not in you, that means you about to now mess up the whole rest of the Bible then.
Right.
If you because here's the thing, the law, that's, you know what, have you heard of the Hebrew word Torah?
Yeah.
Do you know what Torah means?
No.
Torah means instruction, like Torah, instructions.
Which is the Bible for the Jews. That's what they call it.
If you want to say that, right? But let's just say, like, Torah just means instruction. It's kind of like, what's up? Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, instructions. You know, say you want to build something, right? And like the first thing when you open it up, it has the what? The instructions, right? So you read the instructions, apply the rules that's outlined to build this, right? It's the same thing with the Bible. If you don't know what the law says, you're not about to now understand why Christ had to come. You're not going to understand why the Israelites were in captivity. You're not going to understand any of the Bible. Right. So when Christians get up on the pulpit and try to teach, it's automatically going to be wrong because they didn't look at the rules that the Lord set out to interpret this book. That's what we do. Because it makes it, like, literally, if you skip that, it makes everything not make no sense. Just like with the whole, just like how the virgin birth. Watch this, right? They say God impregnated Mary. You know, Mary was espoused to Joseph. You know what happens. You know what happens if you sleep with somebody's woman who's espoused to you, like promised to you. You know what happens if you sleep with them?
In that time where you stoned?
Yeah, because it's the same judgment as adultery.
Right.
So what you're saying is the Holy Spirit committed adultery on Joseph. If you believe in the virgin birth, you have to believe that.
And see, here's the crazy thing is that the doctrine that I was taught, the storyline was that they had yet to betroth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's why they, what was that? That's why they were like fleeing or whatever, because when it was seen that she was a child and they had yet to betroth, right, they were for fear of punishment. So,
Fornication.
right.
Yeah,
They were concerned that people would think they fornicated and they would have to be punished.
Nah, it's because one of those things where it said like he tried to put her away privately. You know what I'm talking about? That's in Matthew where he tried to put her away privately. That means to hide her. Right. Because back in the day, we used to have things like marriage ceremonies. Mm-hmm. You see that, I think, in Judges and in Genesis in certain areas. Yeah. So when we had sex with our women, without having that, people looking at it like you shacked up. Mm-hmm. And Joseph, he's from the house of David. You're supposed to be like a royal Jew, right? So they're gonna look at you weird if you done already popped her before the ceremony, right? That's what it's looking. That's why he wanted to hide her privately. Mm-hmm. He didn't talk about put her away privately. He didn't talk about like, oh, he's trying to hide from the fornication. That's not fornication, because fornication is an unlawful sex act. That's like adultery, bestiality, and things like that. And honestly, if you believe in the virgin birth, you have to admit that the Holy Spirit committed fornication, and that's problematic because that's a sin you can't repent of.
Right. Well, see, I guess the understanding that I was left with, not being able to understand it in the way it was told to me, is in the same sense of how God breathed life into Adam, right? That it didn't require a physical penetration to breathe life into her womb.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I don't know if you know what I'm saying, that's kind of.
Let's hear that. What's that now?
Go ahead, read.
This is Matthew 1 and verse 20, verse 19, right? Because he didn't want to humiliate her, he decided to call off their engagement quietly. So he was going into how he was saying that he wasn't thinking about putting her away like divorcing her. He was just thinking about not letting her be seen because she got pregnant before they.
That would look bad on
it would look bad, especially for Joseph because he's of the house and lineage of David.
So he's a special nigga.
He's
not just anybody.
Yeah, you know David, man. They can call David a man after the Lord's heart. Right. So it's like, if you descend from that nigga.
Again, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing that to me, on one end, it kind of, for some people, it can kind of take away from the belief in how pious these individuals were. But for me, it lends to the credibility that they were human. Because they all made major mistakes.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, our people try to over-deify the book, and now it just don't make no sense. And it sounds ridiculous. And it makes sense why people become atheists, because it's like, well, that don't make no damn sense.
Now, I'll say this. I no longer, at this point, profess any sort of faith, but I'm not foolish enough to make the claim there is no God. Because
that would be shenanigans.
Nor do I have evidence to support that claim either. I consider myself, the best word I choose to use, heretic, just somebody that chooses to suspend belief or worship until I have more answers. Now, here's the thing. You know, a lot of people that have diehard faith, and there's something that happened to them in their life that just made them not question it anymore. They knew at whatever point, they might not be able to prove it to you, but something proved it to them.
Yeah, because it feels good to them.
I'm open to that too. You see what I'm saying?
You shouldn't be open to it in that way. You should be open to it in a way that makes sense logically. Now, the reason why we believe in this power, believe in the God of this book, is because we see things that's going to happen, right? Give me Isaiah 42. Right, let me show you something. Because what we up here believe is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the Israelites. The things that's supposed to happen to the Israelites in the future is happening to us right now. That's how we know that we are, and that's how we know God is real. Watch this. Let me show you something. Isaiah 42. You give me Deuteronomy 28. Watch this. Now, when you look at the prison system, who's in the prison systems? And what nationalities of people?
Mostly us.
Mostly us. Watch this. Hold on, quick with the sword. Isaiah 44, 42, 22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
They're hid where?
In prison houses.
They're hid in prison houses. So it says the Israelites will be hid in prison. This is going to be a future. It's going to be a future event, because at this time they weren't doing prison housings like that.
Right.
Like even in our law, we don't have no type of incarceration. If you do something, there's an immediate punishment for
Right.
it. So this is something that will happen in the future. We see us in the prison houses. Now you can say that's not too much of a coincidence, because other people in the prison houses too. That's a logical person would say that. But watch this. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17. Because we're going to just look at all these and see, and we're going to have to rationalize it. We're going to be logical about it. Like how you say, we're going to be logical about it. We have to look at all these things and see if all this could be a coincidence. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 1.
Yeah.
The sin. 4. Oh, and thou even thyself shalt continue from thy
Discontinue.
shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave.
Wait, hold up. You going too fast, right? You going way too fast.
Shall discontinue from thine heritage.
You know what a heritage is?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's something that's passed down from your ancestors.
That's your culture, your name, like who you actually descend from in your land altogether. That's your heritage. When you look at the state of Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, we the only people who don't have a heritage. We the only people who just say our history starts at slavery, but who was before that? That right there can't be a coincidence. So it says you're going to discontinue from who you are, your land, and your mannerisms. We all we have is Americanism. Everybody else can say, oh, I go back to England. I go back to this person in England. I go back to France, all these various places, but we can't do that. Watch this. So not only will you discontinue from who you are, watch this.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Did we know America when we got off the slave ships? No. What happened to us?
We literally served our enemies.
We served our enemies, and what? Go ahead.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
And the whole reason we did that, the whole reason we came over here is because we weren't keeping the commandments. The same thing we're doing now about, we make songs about, drill music, man. About I'm about to go over there and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
I'm about to do X.
This
You're
whole
funny as hell,
thing, man.
bro.
I know exactly what you mean. Like, we've internalized. Like, I wrote a poem. I don't remember the whole thing. The whole basis of it is by recognizing that what we call black culture are the remnants of slavery.
And death culture.
We take as our culture what we were left with, the scraps that we were given and left with. We created a culture out of it, and now we profess it so proudly that, as a 17 or 18-year-old young man with a high school diploma and no felonies,
Yeah.
I look like, oh, you ain't black.
Yeah.
My dad raised me, oh, you ain't black.
You ain't black.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, it's crazy.
And give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. Watch this, right? Because like you said, you grew up with your dad, right?
Yeah.
We've embraced some death cultures. Before we get that gave what you just said gave more credence to the scripture that said you'll discontinue from your heritage.
Right.
That wasn't our original heritage. We can all look back and be like, that's not who we was before this. That don't even make no sense. Because everybody else wasn't like that.
Right.
So why are we like that? Because we fit that scripture. We also fit the other one about us being in prison houses. But you said you grew up with your dad, so you're not black. Watch this. This is a curse that will happen to the Israelites.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Yeah, tender among you. We used to be cool with each other. You walk down the street, you see another black man, he already be trying to mug you for no reason.
Right.
We the only people who do that.
See, I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah.
So I remember just the nine. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but-
and then I remember if you was in the wrong neighborhood, depending on what's going on over there, and they don't recognize you, you get beat up.
Yeah.
Now you just get shot.
Now you
For no
just-
reason, your
Yeah.
life is over.
And is other people doing that?
It's crazy. No.
Nobody else is doing
No.
that. Watch this. Watch this.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Bro, who does that sound like, man? Let's be honest.
That's a
Go ahead.
all day.
And towards the remnant, and toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards his wife, and watch this.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Which you shall what?
Which he shall lead.
Well, damn.
What's up? All that's a coincidence now.
That's pretty, like, to the point, for real.
And
Like, if you put all of that together from the different things y'all read,
What?
ought to have a
Wait,
sign
there's
just saying
more.
it.
There's more. But wait, you know what they
Oh,
said?
man.
What that do, Billy
But
Mays?
wait,
But wait,
more.
there's more. Watch
Let's
this.
go through.
Yeah, keep going.
So that he will not give to any of them of
Yeah.
the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
Wait,
Because
go to the women. Is that 53? It's right around the same place. It's 50, and the woman. It said the man that's tender among you. Yeah, go on.
this is verse 56, Deuteronomy 28. The tender and delicate woman among you,
Yeah.
which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness
Yeah.
and tenderness,
Yeah.
her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son.
And toward who?
And toward her son.
Bro, you know we've seen so many times where a baby mama, right, takes out all of her anger from the man who she had problems with onto her children.
Yeah.
That's a curse. How we read, like, bro? If this book is fake, why are we reading what we live right now?
Especially when you consider the time in which it was originally written.
This is
And
2,000
then
plus
you
years.
can slide up to when it was put into English, and when it came, man, come on.
Hey, watch this. There's more. You wouldn't believe how much more it is. Go to verse 30. Go to verse 30.
This is Deuteronomy 28:30. Thou shalt betroth the wife.
Hold up. You said you're gonna, y'all read too fast. Y'all should betroth the wife, right? That means you're gonna get a wife, right? And watch this.
And another man shall lie with her.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Now, brother, I know you don't watch Roots. I know you don't watch black movies. You didn't watch Roots? You seen any slave movies? You didn't see no slave movies? You didn't hear about what's happening to our women when we was in slavery?
Yes.
People was raping, the slave master was raping our wives.
President Jefferson, whatever, one of those things is what an example. He
Yeah.
was sleeping with the slave women.
That's a curse.
Yeah.
What happened to us? Read verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people,
Yeah.
and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Bro, who does that fit? Your children, that's the option blocks. Your children will be given to another people and you have to sit there and watch. All that's a coincidence?
And even now, in a different way. Because I'm raising, my second son is not mine biologically. His real father is the man his mother left me for. But because his real father was a piece of shit, grew up without a father himself, and who knows whatever traumas he dealt with, because I knew the father I would be to my son, I wouldn't let his brother go through not having any father. And so,
Father to the fatherless.
and now if his father were to see me and him, he would see me being his father. His father. You know what I'm saying? So, and many of us have to watch other men father our children.
That's the curse.
In our absence.
We've read that, but watch this. Give me 68. Now let's get 68. What if I told you slave ships was in the Bible?
I believe that slavery is ancient.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee to Egypt again with ships.
He's going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now, where it was located, you didn't need a ship to go there.
Right.
Like, we'll go back to Egypt. You can walk there.
They walked from you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to happen in the future. So what happened to the Israelites when they was in Egypt? The Hebrews, they were slaves. So I'm about to bring you into slavery again
They're
with
gonna bring them back with
ships.
ships.
Who that happened to? Black people coming here,
Right.
Hispanic people going all the way to Spain, and the Native Americans going to Spain as well. That people don't talk about that, but they got taken up by the conquistador stuff. They went back to Spain too. That's something we all went through.
You said you a Gadite.
Yeah, Cherokee, Choctaw.
Oh, you a Gadite, man. Hey, where about y'all? Oh, he already left.
No, I'm still trying to learn more about those cultures because it took me to become an adult to really even, have that information to begin with. As a matter of fact, that's the reason I moved down here 2 years ago. My mother was from here and my father was from Indiana. My mother passed when I was 4, and my father raised me and my sisters in Indiana. So I came back to get to know my family here. Come to find out, I got Native American on this side too. So,
Crazy.
you know what I'm saying?
And
So,
do you know a lot of the cultures they did? A lot of the things that they did in their culture are the same thing the Hebrews did. They had land Sabbaths. They had fringes on their clothing like this. You see this?
Yeah.
You see stuff.
Right.
Where do you think they got that from? Get Numbers 15:38. Let me show you something.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38.
Get out.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
That became, as an Israelite, right, before they became Native American, that was our culture. Having fringes on our clothes and putting a border of blue around it like this. You see that? That's the same thing you see them doing.
really common among Native American
Yeah.
tribes.
Watch this.
This is Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
What we just read right here was our heritage in Numbers 15:38, and it says through your generation. So through the annals of time, y'all have to keep doing this. So when they became Native Americans, when they came over here to this land, they were still doing the same thing. Why? Because that's their heritage. That's their culture. They had land sabbaths and all these things. So we're breaking down the Bible, man. Ain't nobody got no water? Why we ain't? You got water? Please give me some water. Please, please, man. Please. Huh? No, he had to take the call, man. Hey, tell Lazarus. Oh, yeah. I'll make I don't care what it is. I need it. Let me go say I need it. I need it, man. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Hey, what's up, man? You got a flyer? Oh yeah, you got the breakdown. Lord bless you, man. Yeah, man. See, this is the whole purpose of us being out here. Good Lord. All right. What else you need? Bring that back in. All right.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So the law was given to us as an inheritance. They were here. There's more than that, right? The law was our heritage. This is our culture. This is our understanding and our wisdom, right? Like just not eating pork. Let's say you stop eating pork. Pork is a main contributor to gout, right? Shrimp, crab, lobster, always get you gout, high blood pressure, things like that. Lord showed us that without even having to tell us to do those things, and now science is now proving it. So God had the wisdom. Give me Baruch chapter 4, verse 26. God had a certain type of wisdom, right? Well, God is all wisdom. Let's be honest, right? The Lord is all wisdom. He's shown that to us before the heathen has even figured out why the laws was given to us. Was even figured out why it's a wise thing to not eat pork. Why it's a wise thing for it to be unclean. Why it's a good thing for you to not do this because it'll kill you and give you goddamn gout. Make your legs swell up, right? Don't nobody want that. 4:26. It's not what I want. Let me finish 3. 26. 36.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge.
The Lord hath found out all the ways of knowledge and did what?
And hath given it unto Jacob.
Given it unto who?
Unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved.
So the Lord has found out all the ways of wisdom and given it unto us. Like the things you see in the law, statutes, and commandments. The thing you see in the Torah, the wisdom and understanding of God. Right? His desires and his will for us. Give me Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Right? The Lord showed us all these things before people even found out why it's a good thing to not eat pork. Why it's a good thing to keep the Torah. Hey, can we get you a flyer real quick though? Yeah, get me a flyer.
Matter of fact, I'm about to check the meter, get something to drink, and I'll be right back. But see, you know what's funny? I came out here, I got off early today, and like I said, I've only been here like 2 years, and I'm really trying to like meet people, in particular, men around my age, you know what I'm saying, because it's rough on us right now, especially dealing with these women, dealing with these jobs, the economy shit's fucking crazy, and I think I would like to find, if not a group of friends, what I would refer to as a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Some guys that's kind of on the same stuff, maybe some of them a little higher up doing some good shit that they can help the next nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like.
That's
So
what
we'll
we
see.
vote, man. All our information right there. At the top of that flyer, it's got my number. We got our YouTube channel. We got classes. We got all that stuff on there, bro.
All right, cool. My name is Mike.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'll
I
be
remember.
back, but if not, I'm gonna holler.
All good.
I feel like this is it.
I know. Because, bro, because here's the thing. Give me, like,
Nigga saying, damn, I can't deny this.
let me see. I got, give me wisdom and knowledge and stability of time. Give me John chapter 4, verse 14. Right? 'Cause I got to show you, this is the thing, right? The reason why people will say things like that, where I think this might be it, or I think this, like this is where I need to be, and things like I understand what y'all are saying. This water, this water which we're dispensing out, this truth will make it to where you never thirst again. You thirsting for wisdom and understanding. When you hear something out of these history books, you hear something out of these colleges, you hear something out of these pastors, you're still gonna be looking for information. You're gonna still be looking for a foundation. But when you come under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right, you ain't never gonna thirst again. This is your wisdom and your understanding. Read this.
This is the book of John, chapter 4 and verse 14. But whosoever drinketh of the water
Matter of
that...
fact, start up. Let's John 13.
Verse 13. Yahweh Shai answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him...
The water that I shall give him, right? How is this? What is this water? This is the wisdom and understanding which Christ gives. Christ also is the embodiment of the word. If we embody this word, we have a foundation and we're not thirsting anymore.
That's right.
We're not looking for a foundation. We have our foundation. This lets you know who you are. This lets you know what's going to happen. This lets you know why you're in the position you're in, and lets you know how to get out of it. All these things, we need economics. We got to get rid of capitalism. That ain't going to help you. Y'all still going to be looking for something else. Y'all been looking in these churches. Y'all been looking in these fraternities. You've been looking at these men groups. But y'all are still thirsty. The truth that we're trying to give these people, and to give the Black, Spanish, and Native Americans by letting them know that God's chosen people, you will not have to thirst again. This is where it's at. Read this again.
But who... You want to start?
14.
But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him, a well of water springing up into everlasting life.
Spring up into what?
Everlasting life.
The kingdom. That's what it is, because that's not it right there. Right here, trying to sticking your ass out the window, right, for somebody to hit the gas at the wrong time, you fall out and break your neck, right? That's not it. You know what is it? Realizing you're a Jew. Realizing you need to keep these commandments. Realizing you have people who love you. Realizing there's a brotherhood through keeping these commandments. Right? That's in our Torah. Like if we're having beef with each other, that doesn't mean we can neglect you when your oxes fell in a ditch. We can neglect you when stuff's going wrong with you. No, that's not what that's going into, bro. We have to love you. Why? Because our God says so. That's our foundation. We have wisdom and knowledge that keeps us stable. Because this truth, time may change. Y'all, America is flipping and flopping on if Pluto is a damn planet. America is flipping and flopping if butter is better than margarine or margarine is better than butter. Science changes. Like they want to talk about we got to believe in science, but it changes every other day.
Right.
Right? It's constantly shifting. It's not stable. It's not something that stands fixed. But you know what does? The words of God.
Right.
It stands for, give me Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. Right? Give me Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This truth is stable and it shall never change. Everything may fade away. These buildings may fade away. All this food is fade away. All these Super Bowl championships, these Stanley Cups, all this stuff, these corruptible prizes will finally corrupt one day. But you know what's not? This truth. Read this.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1.
That's right.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
The law that what?
That endureth forever.
This endures forever because it never changes.
Right.
This law, these commandments, these prophets, these apostles, Christ, all this ain't never going to change. This is the only book that survived through the annals of time. All y'all's other books, all y'all's other belief systems change or are different or fall apart.
That's right.
This endures forever. Read that again.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Such as shall leave it shall die. And we've been dying for far too long. Y'all have left your stability. You've left something. You've left your sure foundation and made a house built upon sand. Matthew 7. Give me that about that house built upon sand. Give me that.
This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of your times. Because this wisdom, right? We know what's our wisdom and our knowledge. Hold that. Hold that. Stay where you at. Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5.
Right.
Because it says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times. This will keep you stable. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
This is our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the nations. This is the wisdom that is talking about in Isaiah chapter 33. This is what keeps us stable.
Right.
Stable means fixed, means unmovable, unshakable. Right? There's a song that I really love called Unshakable, right? The title I'm really talking about the same thing. We are unshakable in this truth. If the scriptures talk about glorying in tribulations, the scriptures talking about when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your heart for temptation. Prepare your heart for this. You know why? Because things are going to beat upon that house like it talks about in Matthew chapter 7. Things are going to happen to you. But you're supposed to glory in that. You know why? Because you are stable in these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're stable in this word. You're stable in who you are. Read this.
Right. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation.
It's the what?
Strength of salvation.
Just like how we read about Christ in John chapter 4 verse 14, where it talks about the living water shall spring up into everlasting life. Your wisdom and knowledge should be your stability that springs up, and it should be the strength of your salvation. It's the same thing. Eternal life is your salvation and your rulership on the planet. You Black, Spanish, and Native Americans. The scripture's been saying the same thing multiple different ways. All you gotta do is be obedient. If you sit back, every scripture we're reading, if you sit back and think about it, you can sum it up to one word: obedience. And that's one thing Black people don't want to do. That's the one thing Hispanic people and Native American people don't want to do: be obedient. That's crazy. Give me this house built upon sand. 30 verse 24.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
So Christ saying, if people who hears his sayings and does what Christ said, because people always say, like, in John, give me John chapter, not John, James 1 and 22. There's plenty of people who hear the word of God. There's people who thinks it sounds good, right? But like it says in Ezekiel, they hear their words and do them not. You have to hear the words of God and be a doer of the word of God. That's how Christ likens you unto a wise man. We're going to read that again.
Right. This is James chapter 1 and verse 22. But be ye doers of the word.
Yeah.
And not hearers only.
Be doers of the word, but not hearers only. Why? Because you're fooling yourself.
Right.
And that's what a lot of Christians do. Just because you attended a church service, the pastor said all the Christian vocabulary words like Christ, forgiveness, sins, saved, grace. If he goes and says all those vocabulary words, you think just because you sat down in the pew and heard it and gave money, you think that's all you need to do.
Wake him up, Bob.
Christ said in Matthew chapter 7, James said in James chapter 1, be doers of the word and not hearers only. It's not hard. Just be about what you speak about. And that'd be one thing that's crazy too about Jake. The only thing we have in this world is our word. Think about it. All you got is your word. Think about that, bro. All you got is your word, and y'all compromise that. That's why your ideologies are compromised. I had a sisterhood lesson I did. How you do anything is how you do everything. Literally. How you do anything is how, if you half-ass things in your life, you're probably half-assing big things in your life. That's why you want to try to be the best in everything you can. If you have, there ain't no way you giving 110% to God, but you half-assing your job, you half-assing being a father, you half-assing your life. There's no way that don't make no sense. How can a fountain spring forth fresh water and salt water at the same time? Christ said that. That don't exist. So how you do anything is how you do everything. Keep going.
Right? This is verse 23. Now, Salaki, I got to finish it off. Deceiving your own selves.
Yeah.
For if any man be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Yeah. Keep going.
Right? Verse 24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
That's how you go look in the mirror, see what you look like. As soon as you turn around, you done forgot. You're deceiving yourself. You deceived yourself when you woke up. You deceived yourself in the mirror. You deceived yourself when you walked away. That's what y'all are when y'all don't want to serve the God and actually be a hearer and a doer of the word. You don't want to be the wise man that Christ said. Bring back in Matthew chapter 7. Verse 24.
Verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended.
And the rain what?
And the rain descended.
Yeah.
And the floods came.
Yeah.
And the winds blew.
Yeah.
And beat upon that house. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
It failed not. It was fixed on that rock. It was stable on that rock, right? But that rain, what you got? Yeah, hold that. I want you to read that first, but I want Sirach 2, right? When the rain and the floods hit that house was stable and it didn't fall. You know what that's talking about? That's talking about Sirach chapter 2. Read Sirach chapter 2, verse 1.
This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Do what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. That's that rain. That's that flood. That's that stuff coming and beating on that house, right? You are that house. There's plenty of places in the Bible where it talks about a family or a man as a house. When you come to serve God, you got to prepare for that rain. You got to prepare for that floods. You got to prepare for that fire. You got to prepare for somebody to come and try to break into that house. You have to prepare yourself for all those things because that's what's required to serve this God. There is no easy rate. There's no easy ride with Yahweh. It's not. Being espoused to Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, right? Being espoused to that power and His Son, it comes with baggage. It comes with things you have to deal with. It comes with things that are unpleasant. It comes with I can't hang out with my family on certain days because they're out here serving the white man's holidays. Out here serving, celebrating Thanksgiving, right? When one day you really see your whole family, now you can't do that because you got to serve the Father, right?
Right.
It comes with you having to be off a certain day. That comes with you not having to spend money on a certain day. But stuff moves so fast in America, you really need to spend money every single day. But you have to sacrifice one of those days every single week to serve God. That's not easy for a lot of niggas. Serving Yahweh comes with you have to change your diet. You have to change the way you raise your kids. You have to change the way you interpret information in the world. You have to change the way you walk in the world. Everything has to change. It has to be a total and complete paradigm shift. That's why Christianity is such bullshit, because all you do is confess the name of a person. I cut as Christian in my old job so hard with that. I said, bro, okay, so all you got to do is believe this man existed, right? Can you prove to me he existed? Can you do that? He was stuck. I said, so you just now believe in something. You don't know if this man existed. You're confessing this man's name. You don't know how to prove it, right? But you just believe it. That's why atheists can confound Christians so easily. It's so easy because y'all don't even deal logically. You know how we can prove Christ existed? The prophecies. You know we can prove Christ existed? Like people who weren't Christians who attested to him, like Tacticus, like certain Romans at that time who had no reason to believe in Christ. Josephus. So many, we can do that. You know why? Because we stand for this. It's crazy. Get your precept.
This is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. He layeth up sound wisdom for the he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous.
Yeah.
He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
He's a what?
He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
That's like that big ass belt, bro. We used to have them big ass bucklers, but Israel stage drip, man. What's that?
Even to make it even better, the buckler that it's talking about in this verse is a shield. It's like a shield that goes on your arm.
What's that? Read it in the other one. I'm sure this is the other one. I thought in some translation the buckler is like the belt. What's up, man? Hey, bro, man, come on, man. Cigarettes, man. Hey, brother, you want to love God? Throw that away, bro. You can throw that away. You can throw that one cigarette away, bro.
Do you love us, brother? No, you don't. No, you don't. Let me help you, brother.
Come on, let him help you out, man. That ain't gonna hurt you.
I'm not gonna help you, brother.
Wait, Matati, watch this. You said you want to be around brothers who will help you. People who want to look after your health. That cigarette's killing you.
Right, brother.
Brother trying to take that one cigarette
You don't need
away.
the next puff, man. Give me that.
Put it down, bro.
Give me that.
There you go. Don't be a hypocrite, brother. Don't be a hypocrite. Right?
Oh, wait, where the pack at?
Where the pack at?
I will be graceful. I will leave you with 3. Give me the rest. Yes, you can.
You can do that. You strong enough for that, bro.
Y'all stop. You have to do all things. Philippians. Bring Philippians.
We ain't there yet.
Okay, let me rephrase. It's not that I cannot, it's that I will not.
Why
I
not?
apologize. I can't do it.
You not strong enough for it, brother?
No, how you say?
You're addicted.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than that. And that's really the hardest thing that a lot of people that don't, use tobacco products don't realize. It's more than an addiction, and it's more than a habit.
It's muscle memory. I used to smoke.
Well,
so
I put it like this. What's y'all favorite thing to drink? Right?
Like
Y'all like
alcohol?
water, soda, tea, you know what I'm
I
saying?
drink a lot of various things, man.
Okay, so my go-to is sweet tea. I love sweet tea. I don't know if it's good for me or not, but for me, that's my preference to go to for refreshment. And with the, what are you doing?
It's being weird.
For me, smoking a cigarette kind of helps me bring it down. There's a lot going on in here, and smoke a cigarette, relax. It's just a way to relax. It's not even I won't even say it's even the chemical part of it.
So hold on. So what happens when you get cancer then?
Huh?
So what happens when you get cancer?
Oh,
What happens when you're talking through this? What happens then?
well, that depends on the severity of the cancer when I find out.
Really, bro? Bro, come on, man.
You want to fuck around and
Come on. That's really what that is. You trying to fuck around and find out, bro? Why?
report of it is just
I never wanted to live forever, no way.
So you want to live the rest of so you would want to get cancer and have to live the rest of your life on chemo instead of giving up.
Well,
let
like this.
me finish, bro. Let me finish.
Right.
Instead of taking the first, letting this be the first day where you're like, you know what? I'll say I'm better than this. I want to be better. I wouldn't even say substitute should be
That's the
crutches.
part. That's the part. Is the desire to give it up. I'm not there yet. I'm just not.
Because you want to know,
I
bro.
want to quit, but at the current time, I don't want to quit enough to actually quit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of things that we know we should do, but we really don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things we really kind of have to do, and then some of the things we don't necessarily have to do, but we should.
What if?
So until we
How
want
about this, right? Let's make it simple. What if God, right? What if God was telling you to stop?
I mean, I don't think that would do it.
You don't think that would do it? If you heard like the thunderous roar, like you read about like in Exodus 20 where we heard the 10 Commandments,
Yeah.
and everybody was afraid.
Yeah.
Everybody was afraid that like, oh my God, if we hear any more of this, we would die. Like that power. If he did that again here right now and said, hey, stop smoking those or you're gonna die tomorrow, you still would continue to smoke?
If that were the case, I would have to ask him for some help. If he could, you know what I'm saying?
How is he not that help? Why
Well,
would he
first off, I remain a heretic. You know what I'm saying? I remain a heretic. I don't currently have any faith affiliation. So it's hard for me to put my mind in a place that if I were still a believer as I was at one point, then probably I think that would very easily get me to quit. But in my current mind state and my view of reality, I think I'll be like, who is this again?
Oh, but hold on,
My caller
let's run
ID
it back.
messed up. You know
Let's
what
run
I'm
it
saying?
back though.
Thunderous voices from the sky. I still got a question. Yo, can I see some ID?
That,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But
that's
just me being
wild.
honest.
I'm not gonna lie, that's
just me being
wild.
honest
But
about
let me
where
deal
I'm
with
at.
something. Let me deal with something. That's wild as hell. But I'm gonna say this. So when we read all these prophecies in Deuteronomy and Isaiah and the prophets that you really kind of couldn't argue against, but you can really see is our experience since we've been here. You see that you have to then throw all that away.
Well, I'll say this.
Let me finish. You have to then throw that away to continue believing what you believe in. Like after seeing all that stuff and not having an answer for it, you have two options. You can either throw it away and remain a heretic, or be like, you know what, I can't explain this. There has to be a higher power. Because all these things can't be a coincidence. It's one of the two. You can't stay in between.
Here's the thing. One, I don't believe anything at all. I accept things that seem to make sense. And for the rest of the stuff,
That's believing.
it's still just like question mark. And the reason I call it accepting things that make sense is that I'm accepting it pending further information. You see what I'm saying? So for the moment, I accept that, I don't know,
What's 2 plus 2?
4.
Why?
Because I can add with 4 fingers, two of them.
So do you believe that it's 4?
I accept that it's 4. I understand that it appears to be 4. In every way that I've possibly tested, 2 plus 2 in fact equals 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that to me is what I call proving.
So
You know
if we apply that same type of analogy to the Bible, right? And we just saw all these prophecies, 2 plus 2 should equal 4, right? It should be like I can read this, see this, bro. All the things we brought out, you've seen verbatim, and you said, "Damn, bro, damn." Every time it's like, "Dang, that's in there, that's in there, that's in there." How many times? How many times you got to get your ass whooped before you realize? That's what it's really kind of.
Well, I think the thing is that, for example, like you use 2 plus 2. When you're teaching a small child at the beginning that 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5, etc., right? And then you take them through the process to show them that. When it comes to belief, like in my heart belief, I'm at that first grade level, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to believe, but I can't just choose to believe. I can't just observe something and believe it.
You're doing that with 2 plus 2.
Weird thing.
You're doing that with 2 plus 2.
I'm saying like with a kid, it could take at least that school year for them to learn.
We're not talking about a kid. We're talking about you. Like your intellect is way higher than a
I'm
child's.
saying that in spirit.
Hold on, brother. Like you're moving too fast, right? Your intelligence and intellect is far higher than a child. You have a certain level of rationalness that we can have this conversation. You can visually see 2 plus 2 equals 4. You can visually see the curses. How can you say that my spirit is different? The only thing that's different between those analogies is one's the Bible and one's finite numbers.
I mean, I'll put it like this.
I mean, it seems like you have a
I
problem
can
with the
tell you how
Bible.
old I am, right? I can tell you how old I am. And initially, I might not look that old. So, he said that's how old he was. Some people, that's all they need. Other people are like, I don't know, he don't look that old. Let me see some ID.
Yeah.
Right? Once they see the ID, there's nothing to argue with.
We showed you the ID.
So what I'm telling you is, for me at this point, it's like me telling you how old I am. And I'm like, you definitely caught my mind, and I'm definitely going to be looking further into that because I feel like my answer is in there. You see what I'm saying? I feel like my answer is in there. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, this is just me being as honest as I know how to be about where I'm at, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. That in the example of the smoking, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give it up yet. I feel like what I feel I benefit from smoking a cigarette versus what I understand the detriment is the detriment still outweighed at the moment.
Brother, that's kind of crazy talk, bro.
I mean,
Let's run it. The benefits. The benefits is this. It makes you feel good. All right. We're writing all that, and let's get the pro and con column. Pro column makes you feel good. Con column makes your breath smell bad. Yellows your teeth. Ruins your gums. Can give you gum cancer. Can give you random different cancers throughout the body. Can give you cancer at any point in your life. Even smoking one cigarette can do that.
Right.
Look at all these damn cons, bro.
Right.
Like how many times? Like you're talking about like it outweighs the benefit. The benefit does not outweigh that.
And I know what I'm about to say
Like,
is gonna sound absolutely
No. Before you
buggered.
get there, bro. Before you get there, you have to really think like that's irrational. That's how.
It may seem like it. But check this out. What's the worst case scenario?
Let me finish. Before we get to the worst case scenario, that's kind of like how a woman. That's like how you're acting kind of like how a woman who doesn't want to be accountable for her actions. That's kind of how you're acting.
Oh no, I take full responsibility. I'm in explanation mode. You see what I'm saying? So worst case scenario, like you said, is death. Correct? Correct. What door must? What door do you got to knock on to meet your mate? What door you got to knock on to meet your mate?
Let me ask you something, brother.
And it seemed like it'd be a smoke.
Brother,
but I've seen 3 of them
brother,
already.
can I ask you something? Brother, can I ask you something? As from someone who used to smoke, right? Would you smoke meth?
No.
Why?
I don't see any good reason to do that.
Okay, but meth gets you high.
I don't
right?
like getting high.
Do you know what
I don't even smoke weed.
do you know what a dopamine dump is? Do you know what that is? What is a dopamine dump?
I think so.
What is it?
It's when you dump dopamine into your system. and
By
you
doing
get
what?
extreme-
By doing what?
a drug.
By doing a what?
A drug.
By doing a drug. You know when you first start smoking cigarettes and you get that head high and you
Yeah.
feel good and relaxed, you know what that is? That's
I
a
hate
dope.
that now, man.
Guess what? You know what it is?
It's
That is
dopamine dump. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, brother. So
I'll be honest.
you won't smoke meth, would you smoke crack?
But, hell no.
What about smack?
Nope.
Heroin?
Nope. I don't
Why?
want cigarettes.
But why?
I don't want to be high.
You don't want to be high.
Right.
Okay. Would you smoke? Would you ingest rat poison?
Not. No.
Okay. What about
Knowingly.
what about drain cleaner?
No, but I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
Okay. What about the juices from a pig's anus? Did you do that?
I do eat chicken.
That's gross. So you like dookie water?
Well, they have to be thoroughly clean.
There's no cleaning dookie water. Let's be real. But you willingly do that?
No.
No?
No, not openly.
Okay. Can you breathe fire? So you can't walk through a burning building and be okay?
Probably not.
Why?
Because I'm subject to burning. I can be burned.
Subject to burning. You can't. Okay. Let's say if there's a clear path and you want to get set on fire, could you still walk through a burning building and not pass out?
No.
Why?
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. Oh,
You good.
so your body is not built to take in smoke, correct?
Correct.
So you don't like doing drugs, you don't like getting high, but yet the cigarette is designed to give you a temporary high, and it contains rat poison, pig anus, drainal fluid, poisons that kill you. But yet you don't want to smoke meth. I don't understand. Why not just go the full length? Go smoke some meth.
Because I don't think I would like the way it felt.
You don't think you like the way the crack addicts love it? Meth addicts love it, man. You know, their teeth get rotted out their mouth.
I used to
All
smoke
that.
weed when I was a kid,
Okay.
and I stopped when I was like 16. I never picked it back up.
Oh.
I don't really like being high. I tried it once or twice.
But yes, you do like being high. Because that cigarette, even though you don't get that head rush no more, that calm, relaxing thing. Because after a while of smoking cigarettes, you don't get that same feeling. Now you're just making it a habit. Right? It's the same thing. You still doing a drug, even though you say you don't like drugs, you don't like getting high. You still like doing it.
I don't like feeling high.
You don't like feeling high. Okay, so then stop smoking cigarettes so you don't feel high.
But I will say this.
How about this? If I beat you in a game of rock, paper, scissors, best 2 out of 3, would you give me that pack in your pocket?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Do you want brothers to love and help you and look out for you?
I would like that, yeah.
You would like that, right? That's something that black people need, right?
Absolutely.
Would you say that us trying to take that pack from you is looking out for you and love?
I agree absolutely.
So either you want it or you don't. Which one is it? Do you want brothers to love and help you, or do you not want that?
Pick one.
Okay, I hear you. I
No,
do want- I do
you
want-
hear me, but are
I
you?
do want it in general.
No.
but in
Do you
particular case-
not in general? Do you want it? Yes or no? Either you want it or you don't. There's no in between. Which one is it?
I guess. To be honest,
Do you want to live or do you want to die?
Well,
Which one
I
is it?
want to die at some point.
You want to die at some point?
At some point,
You're
yeah.
okay with dying.
I require death.
You require death. Why do you require death? Are you suicidal?
I have been in the past, but at this point, it's not that I'm suicidal. It's just that
Yeah, you are.
this shit's gonna get old. Just waking up.
Do you
every
believe
day,
that you can do good towards
inhaling,
others?
exhaling.
Do you believe that you can do good towards others? What's that? Was it Sirach 12?
Can I buy one of them?
Sirach 12? No. He that is evil to himself.
14, Sirach 14.
Give me Sirach 14. What verse? Con, somebody give me that. Somebody get that. Sirach 14. I got 2 readers.
Sirach 32 and 17 now, and he got it.
Do malicious soul. That's what he got.
Go ahead. We're going to get that too.
This is Sirach chapter 14 and verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
So how are you going to be good to other people when you evil to yourself? How you going to do that? How can you be a good person to other people when you are not good to yourself?
That's actually one of the specific reasons why I feel like if there was any way in which I needed cigarettes, that's
Why
one
do you
of the
need it?
reasons, and that's to help me correct my natural impulses to violence. I got.
So you need cigarettes to help you not be violent?
Yeah.
Why not surround yourself by brothers who will keep you in check? Why not go forth?
would definitely help a lot.
Why not go forth even the extra step to make sure that you have a mental capacity and fortitude to keep yourself in check?
That makes sense.
You need a poison to keep yourself in check
At the moment.
at the moment. So you're not capable on your own. You don't believe yourself to ever be capable?
Hopefully at some point it's something I'm working on. But
How old are you, brother?
I'll be 40 in November.
So in your 40 years of life, you haven't learned self-control?
No.
Is that a good or a bad thing,
That's
brother?
an absolutely terrible thing.
That's the horror. So what you think you should do? You should start learning how to be self-controlling, right?
Absolutely.
So then why not learn some self-control around some brothers who's trying to help you?
I would absolutely love to.
Okay.
And
Do-
I'm gonna be honest. Like say I roll my ankle. Okay. I roll my ankle, right?
Yeah.
I can hop on one foot. After a little while, I'll be able to kind of limp on it, and then after a while, I'll be able to walk again. It might hurt a little bit, but then I'll be cool, right? But until I get to the point that I can walk, a crutch might help.
So
You know what I'm saying?
so what is a crutch used for?
A crutch is used to hold you up when you can't hold yourself up.
Oh, so it's something that's good for you to help you alleviate pain on something so that way it can heal, yes?
In the short term, yes.
In the short term, yes, right? Would a poison do that? Does a poison help you?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that a poison helps heal you?
Yes. And believe it or not, here's what's crazy. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up. Don't never believe shit I say, look it up.
Okay, how about this?
Nicotine
Wait, I got you. Check me out, right? If that's the case, going by your logic, I want you, because we in Texas, I want you to go find a black diamond rattlesnake and drink the venom. Because poison, you said poison's going to help you. Why don't you get
Not
some
all
snake poison? I don't know. You said
But
that
believe it
poison
or
helps
not-
you.
Believe it or not, snake venom has been used in many medications.
Oh, well,
And-
why don't you
and
drink
nicotine-
snake poison? then?
Nicotine is a type of a drug classified as a nootropic, which means that it stimulates the synaptic connection.
It doesn't stimulate it. It overuses it and it abuses it.
But
To the
it's
point.
actually- it's
To the
actually being
point.
used
To the
to
point.
treat-
What is the medical use of nicotine?
They're using it to treat dementia, actually.
They're using it to treat dementia?
Yeah. Now, granted, it's
Oh,
not being smoked.
just actual direct nicotine.
No, not directly. But
What else is in it?
I don't know for sure. I can't tell you.
Is it the same substance that you would find collectively in a cigarette?
No, but it's the
Oh.
active ingredient.
Oh, but they would have
So-
other medical benefiting chemicals and or agents or herbs that have been distilled into a medicine to use and treat dementia. Not
Potentially.
rat poison, Drano fluid, pig anus juice,
These days,
and other things that are
who knows?
found in cigarettes.
These days, who knows?
Matter of fact, can you take your cigarette box out real quick? I want you to read the side of the box for me.
Yeah.
What's the side of that box say?
Quitting smoking now can greatly reduce serious risks to your health.
Risk to your health. So is it okay that you risk your health? Do you have a wife and kids?
I have kids. I don't have a wife.
You have kids.
Yeah.
Do you love your
Three
kids?
baby mamas.
Do you love your
Absolutely
kids?
love my
Do you want to be an example to your kids?
Yes.
Do you want your kids to smoke cigarettes?
Not in particular.
No, why not?
I just don't see that, you know.
Why not? Why can't they smoke? How old are they?
16,
Uh-huh.
14, 11, and 1.
How often you see your kids?
Well, my youngest I see every day.
Okay.
My oldest two I see probably over video chat maybe once or twice.
Okay. Okay. So next time you see them, all three of them, give them a cigarette. Smoke a cigarette with them. That's cool, right? Smoke a cigarette with your kids.
I could probably be arrested for that.
Why? It's good for you. Say it's good for you. If smoking cigarettes are good for you, why don't you smoke a cigarette with your kids? Come on, brother. It's okay. If it's good for you, it should be good for your children, right?
One of the things that, as a parent, that I would like to do is to avoid them having the same types of trauma that I'm using nicotine to treat.
So how about this? How about you be an example to them and face your trauma instead of hiding behind it by a cigarette?
Because I think honesty is the best policy here.
So let's be honest. So let me ask you this.
Without being able to turn to smoke a cigarette and walk away.
Wait, do you smoke cigarettes around your kids?
I have.
Why? You know secondhand smoke is deadly, right?
They say that.
It's worse than firsthand smoke.
They say that, but I grew up around cigarettes.
Oh, okay. Well,
and my lung function is actually above average.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So then smoke cigarettes with your kids? No, dude. You said that smoking cigarettes is good for your health, so smoke a cigarette with your kids. Why don't you do it, brother? You said that smoking cigarettes is a benefit. Poison is good for you. Or though your kids, they say your DNA, don't they? So that means that the DNA that's in you that make that cigarette good for you is in them. So smoke a cigarette with your kids. You see why you can't give an answer?
It might be a good suggestion for the oldest. He needs something.
Do you want your children to see you as a strong man or a weak man? Are you strong or are you weak? What do you want to be to your kids? Do you want to see your kids grow? Do you want to see your grandkids? Do you want to have grandkids? You want to see your children grow up and be successful in life, right? You want to see them do something good with their life, right? How the hell are you going to do that if you're living life on a ventilator? When your life is limited. When your leg is amputated because of cancer that has attacked your legs. Or has attacked your brainstem and you can no longer function and you're a vegetable. How can you do that? How are you going to be an example to your kids when you are a literal living cripple? Because you can't put that fucking crutch down and walk and be strong and get over what that trauma is doing to you. How can you do it? I want you to, no, I don't want a shoulder shrug. I want an answer.
I guess we'll see.
Yes, we'll see.
Hopefully it won't be long before I'm to a point where I can put them down.
How about this? How long you been smoking?
About 30.
So you've been smoking since you was 10?
8.
Cigarettes?
8.
Cigarettes? So in about 32 years, you haven't figured out how to put them down?
I haven't been trying to figure out how to put them down. I haven't
Why
wanted
not?
to put them down. It just wasn't something I was trying to do.
Oh man, because you think it's good for you, right? Tell you what, because I used to smoke cigarettes myself from about the age of 22 to about 26, and guess what? I figured out how to put them down. You mean to tell me that you having more experience than me in age, you haven't figured out how to put them down?
I haven't been trying to figure it out. It's not a matter.
You don't find that to be a problem?
Not at the moment.
Why? Not at the moment. Go smoke some meth, man. It's good for you. You said pussy's good for you. Take the extra step. Go smoke some meth.
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm good with cigarettes.
No, you're not.
I don't smoke.
You know, it's not a strong enough poison, man.
No,
Matter of fact, get some crack and smoke it with your kids. Poison is good for you. You said poison is good for you. So smoke some crack with your kids. Do you see what I'm driving at?
I do.
Do you see how much of a contradiction you're being?
I do.
So then why don't you, you said you want brothers to love you and help you, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you want to let it happen? Because either you want it or you don't.
I do want to let it happen. But
Do you? No.
Until I can stand up.
Are you standing right now? Okay, so how about this? How about this? Matter of fact, give me two are better than one. Give me that two are better than one. Baba Gasha, I need that ASAP. Whoever get it first, I believe it's in Ecclesiastes. Give me two are better than one, right? Because you say it's your crutch, right? Okay, cool. Who got it? Ecclesiastes. Whoever get it. Whoever get it, it don't matter. It don't matter. Whoever gets it first.
how old you say you were again?
I'm 31. And I stopped cigarettes before I was 31. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 9. Two are better than one.
No, start at 8.
There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet there is no end of all his labor.
So you constantly working when you by yourself. You always doing something because ain't nobody to help you, read.
Neither is his eye satisfied with riches.
See, and you're not satisfied with the things that you have. You're not satisfied that you are living life, and you are not satisfied with putting these cigarettes down because you don't want to, read.
Neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and
Who do I work for?
and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yea, it is a sore travail.
It's a vanity. It's nothingness, read.
Two are better than one.
No, just by myself.
Two are better than one.
Would you agree that two are better than one?
I would agree.
Okay.
Because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Wait. If one falls, what?
The one will lift up his fellow.
It's a crutch. If you fall and you got a brother with you, they can lift you up, right? You on a crutch, right? What happens if you lose your crutch? You're going to feel like you're going to fall, right? What happens if you got a brother there? You say you want brothers to love and help you, right? But you're using a cigarette as a crutch, but you got brothers standing in front of you who is willing to be that crutch. But you don't want to give up your first crutch because you scared that your brothers that are standing in front of you won't lift you up, read.
But woe to him that is alone,
Destruction to you because you are alone, read.
when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up.
And I asked you, do you want brothers to help you and love you and all that? You said you do. Well, you got all these brothers in front of you, me personally, trying to help you, to be your crutch and lift you up, but you don't want it. So which is it? Do you want brothers to love and help you or not? There is no fucking in between. Which is it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then give me the pack of cigarettes in your fucking pocket.
Come on, brother. Come on now. Come on. Don't say yeah because
Read it again.
Read it again. What you just read.
I want to do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't do it,
Point
man.
from the top.
Yeah. Two are better than one.
Two are better than one. Because they have a good reward for their labor.
When you got brothers to help you, you get a reward for your labor. And your brother can help lift you up. But you want to stay walking on a crutch that's done nothing but kill you, read.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
I'm trying to help you from falling, but you want to hit the ground, read.
But woe to him that is alone,
Destruction to you because you want to be alone, read.
when he falleth.
You want to fall. That's what you want right now. You don't want to see your grandkids. You don't want to see your children grow up. You want to fall alone and die alone. So do you want help from your brothers, yes or no?
I guess I ain't want it as much as I thought I did.
I didn't. No. I didn't ask you none of that. I'm not playing no games and I'm not laughing. Do you want help, yes or no?
He just told you no.
You said no? You have a great day, man.
All right,
Go have a great
y'all
day,
stay
man.
positive, man.
Go have a great day. And tell your kids it's okay to smoke cigarettes. And tell your kids that you're going to sit down with them and smoke crack and milk because you like poison. Destruction to you, lest you repent, man.